What's the question?
Okay, so it says a 45-year-old male presents with low back pain after shoveling snow.
Okay.
Physical findings include a positive seated flexion test on the right.
Positive on the right. Okay.
Deep sacral sulcus on the right.
Deep on the right.
And posterior ILA on the left.
Posterior ILA on the left.
What is the diagnosis?
So from here we have a positive right. So in step 1 we know that the motion is on the right. On the right. So with motion being on the right, we know that we've already eliminated both of our bilaterals. So now we can run down to 4 different things. We can either have a left on left, a right on left because the right side is moving, and then you have your 2 right unilaterals, so flexion or extension. So then from here, we have to look at what our pictures are going to be. And I'm going to erase this for a second. Since they did not give us a spring test, we can't rule anything out. So with an anterior on this side, we're either going to have, so your torsions are going to be either that, and your unilaterals are going to be crisscross. So if we have posterior on this side, that means it has to be posterior here and anterior here. If we have posterior on this side and anterior here, one, that can't happen because these 2 would match and these 2 have to match.
Broken sacrum.
So, broken sacrum. So that being said, we can eliminate unilaterals because it has to be posterior on opposite sides and anterior on opposite sides. So looking at this, this is what we're going to have to go with because posterior is on both sides. Posterior, the inferior ILA, the posterior ILA shows the way that it's facing. So it's facing to the left. So our answer is left on left.
So can I show another way that? So what another way to push this is as soon as you get this on the right, this is positive on the right, it means the axis must be on the left. So immediately you know the second part, there's something on something, and so you immediately know that it's the second letter there is going to be on left because it's something on left. So then you just say, okay, so is this anterior or is this posterior? So you say, well, this is anterior, so it's going this way, so which would make it. Well, I always think of the way that it's facing, so it's going this way. It's facing to the left. Like if I were to turn my head, it'd be like that to the left. So I got a left on left. That's another way of approaching it. But this way is a more for sure way because now you're seeing what's actually possible, and you know that if it's a unilateral like that, then it must be a left on left. So
the only comment that I have to that is specifically that if you do have the positive right, if you do have a positive right on the seated flexion test, it does not always mean that the axis is going to be left. You can have a side bending motion that has a left or a right segment, which is where your shears come in.
okay, so there'd be a shear finding with that.
Yes.
What if it was how do you know what's the spring and the sphinx in this situation?
The spring and the sphinx in this situation, if this situation were to occur, you would have to have a negative spring or a negative sphinx.
What can you describe what would happen then while you're doing the actual test? What does the person's back do while you're doing the test
So
for a negative spring?
if a negative spring, you'd palpate along the lumbosacral junction, and upon anterior pressure of the sacrum, you will notice that the sacrum does move with it. It actually has some give when you're doing when you're doing the anterior pressure.
So negative spring means that everything's okay.
Yes.
It bounces just fine. Positive
That
spring
means-
means that it doesn't bounce good.
That means the sacrum does have a forward flexion.
Okay. So that's what would be the finding in this case. And what if, what would have made you think that it was a positive spring? What would have to change in order for it to be a positive spring test? It couldn't be a left on left, it had to be a left on right or something like that?
Right on
Yes.
left.
Right on left?
Right on left.
Okay.
So it'd be a right on left. So if you had the right, you would have to have, instead of deep sulci here, it would have to be a shallow sulci here. And then this side would have to be posterior. And this side would have to be anterior.
Okay. All right, cool, thank you.